My name's Adam Monaco and I'm the Financial Controller for High Tech Oils. With our national capacity, we can now service Australian companies nationwide. Of late, we have now expanded into the New Zealand market. Here at High Tech Oils, we receive premium base oils and premium additive packs. Together, with our highly trained staff, we manufacture over 500 premium quality products. High Tech Oils is Australian made and Australian owned.
To some, it's just a hunk of metal. A convenience made to get you from point A to point B. Basic transportation, that's all. So who cares about horsepower, torque, compression ratios, and chrome Kragers? Yeah, we do too. Summit Racing Equipment, the world's speed shop. SummitRacing.com.
On today's show, we head over to Western Australia and to the Perth Motorplex for the latest instalment of the ANDRA drag racing series. It's the Goldenstates, featuring Top Door Slammer, Top Fuel Motorcycle and the Summit Racing Equipment Sportsman Series. This is Speedweek.
Star-studded field here in Top Door Slammer and Top Fuel Motorcycle have assembled along with the Summit Racing Equipment Sportsman Series, ready to take each other on at an event that is deeply entrenched in the WA drag racing history books. It's the 42nd Golden States. Out of Perth this weekend, I'm Jason Bean and I'm joined in the commentary box again this weekend by the third fastest Top Fuel pilot on the planet, Aaron Hambridge. Welcome to you, Aaron.
Thanks, Jace. Good to be here. So I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with this racetrack. I've had my first and only ever accident in a car here, unfortunately, but I've had some great success running our Top Fuel car here, many victories and quite a few fast passes here.
Well, John Zapier, Mark Valeri and Ben Braid, they are at the top of the championship leaderboard, all thanks to High Tech Oils. We had qualifying yesterday, and of course, over 3 rounds, we saw the leader, the current championship leader, John Zapier, in fact, missed the 2 first qualifiers, but he did come out for the 3rd. Let's have a look now at our High Tech Oils qualifying results. John Zapier, number 1 with a 5.70. Scott McLean with a 5.82. And Green O'Rourke with a 5.87. Becky Lamb caught up with John Zapier in the pits.
John Zapier, fresh off the win last weekend at Calder Park Raceway, and here we are today in Perth. You've come through yesterday as a very late bloomer in the 3rd qualifying, come through to take it out.
Yeah, no, that's right. First run to come out and we banged the supercharger. One cylinder was a bit lean and melted a spark plug and went bang. So we come back, pulled it apart, and then halfway through the fix we found a bent conrod. So we'd pull the head off and do that. That meant we missed the 2nd qualifier, so it was pretty nerve-wracking getting ready for the 3rd qualifier. The car went well. The Fuchs Monaro did what it needed to do and went straight to the top with the 570 at 255 mile an hour, and that's our 2nd quickest mile an hour ever, and probably the start of a track record for here. So yeah, hopefully we'll back that up tonight.
As we head to round 1 of the eliminations here at the 42nd Golden States, we have got Daniel Gregorini out of WA and New South Welshman Mark Valeri moving in beside him. Great pair of door slammers, of course, but both very, very accomplished when it comes to quarter mile racing. And I think we'll see a great pair here. Valeri will be wanting to put a big hole shot on the whole field by recording a very fast time. Aaron, 2 very accomplished races.
Yeah, both these guys have been racing for quite a while. The car in the right lane, Morris Fabietti's Monaro there, probably made a few more runs than Daniel Gregorini. Daniel's car actually started as a comp car, and if you look at the body shape on that 69 Camaro, you notice it's a little bit different to some of the other Camaros you see in Door Slammer. Because in comp the cars aren't allowed to be as slippery, that car's actually not as aerodynamic as many of the other cars in Door Slammer, but it doesn't seem to worry Daniel because he's run plenty of fast passes in that car.
Mark Valeri was runner-up at the first race of the season back in July last year, up in Darwin at the Nitro Up North event. He's sitting second in the championship at the moment, so he'll certainly want to try and make sure he gets through this round and can try and get himself towards the pointy end. But we are about to go. Top Door Slammer racing here at the Perth Motorplex. Blue skies, a good crowd in the house. Of course, always a great place to come racing. Check out the reactions there, a 002 to a 005. It is Valeri, however, he will streak away and stops the clocks 5:91 at 392 kilometres per hour. It looked like Gregorini had some issues. We will go on board with Mark Valeri, though, for the moment with this run.
Yeah, Mark makes a great run there. Pretty much straight on top of their qualifying pass, but Gregorini's cars smoked the tyres pretty much at the step of the throttle. He's obviously trying pretty hard to beat Mark, but fortunately it wasn't his day.
Now, you have mentioned to us in previous broadcasts that these are the cars that you would not like to drive, purely because I guess there's so much action going on.
Listen, I drive almost anything, but if any drive and any Group 1 car come up, I'd say the Dawson would be the last one I'd pick. Unfortunately, and I've said this many times to many people, there aren't too many door slammers that haven't hit the wall at some point in their career.
Well, Sam Fennick and Grant O'Rourke are about to come our way right now. Great to see Grant O'Rourke back, of course, the O'Rourke Motorsport team, originally from WA, now based out of Queensland. They did announce back at Nitro Up North that they were in fact parking up for a while, so I'm stoked to see that they've made this field here this weekend. Yeah,
I was thinking the exact same thing. As far as I knew, Grant had retired, but he keeps coming back, which is great. It's good for the sport, it's good for Grant, and hopefully he hangs around for a while. Sam, on the other hand, they've started travelling, doing all the rounds. Sydney guy, local to me. Each time they bring their car out, they step it up a little bit more. They're slowly starting to work their way to the pointy end of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam Fennick, of course, an engine guru, has produced some of the toughest drag racing and burnout engine combinations out of his Sydney shop, West End Performance. And, man, they have been doing some travelling. They've been up to Darwin, they've been across to Victoria, of course, now this weekend here in the West. The App Shop and West End Performance Sydney 68 Chevy Camaro for Sam Fennick, and Grant O'Rourke in that beautiful 68 Pontiac Firebird. It looks like it will be O'Rourke that will streak away. Goes through 620, 385 to take the win.
Grant was let off easy there. He cut a pretty average light, but Sam's obviously got himself into trouble. And Grant wasn't on a perfect run either. He's run a lot quicker than 620s, but hey, he got away with the win.
You can see the, well, I guess it's effectively a bit of shake that's caused bounce off the line for Fennick.
Yeah, these cars are kind of prone to tyre shake, as most drag race cars are, but there's a few different reasons for it. You can have too much wheel speed, not enough. By the looks of Sam there, he got up on the tyre a little bit hard and it just started shaking, and you can see why his driver, the passenger side door actually popping open on the car.
I tell you what, that shot inside showed us just why it is an exciting sport. All right, the next pair about to come our way now. We have got, of course, Scotty McLean down from Darwin this weekend and debuting a new car.
Yeah, Scott's put a huge effort in over the last couple of years. He's been absent from the sport as a competitor for probably, I reckon, nearly 3 or 4 years now. He debuted both these cars in Sydney 3-4 months ago, but he's put in a lot of effort. He's built a new transporter, which if anyone gets a chance to go and check it out, it is amazing. It's probably one of the cleanest, neatest, most beautiful race car transporters I've ever seen, but both of his race cars are pretty awesome too. He's had Darren Mayer from DMP in the US put him a whole new engine package together for both cars. They hired the track in Sydney for an entire week before they went racing. The car's been running fast in both categories. You know, he's put in the time, the effort and the money, and he's come out swinging.
In besides Scotty McLean, it's going to be Steve Aldridge with this 55 Chevrolet. Qualified 7th from memory. And look, at the end of the day, I think Scotty McLean will be trying to, I guess, reassert himself in the top door slammer field. Ran door slammer originally with a Studebaker, then went top alcohol racing. Now he is back with this beautiful Holden Monaro. car comes out. It's very clean. Aldridge sticks with him, but 592, 398 kilometres per hour. Gets the win for McLean, and he will progress through to the next round.
Yeah, you see there, McLean got the jump on him straight out of the hole. After that, the two cars basically stayed side by side, but Scott's car was so much faster, 300 foot. Aldridge was never going to get that back.
Well, Scotty McLean picks up the front wheels on the launch. He's 60-footed very, very hard indeed, a .967. And of course, that was all she wrote. Pino Priolo now moving in. In beside him will be our championship leader, John Zappia. Very, very lucky, Aaron, to make the field here this weekend.
Yeah, John had some engine problems in round one, which made him miss out on round two of qualifying, but he came out in that last session and just bombed the field and put almost a tenth and a half on top of everybody. But this is John's home track. He's probably made more passes down this racetrack than any racer, let alone any other door slammer racer, so you kind of expect it from him.
I mean, this guy is the Australian top door slammer ET record holder. He is 9 times back-to-back Australian top door slammer champ. I mean, there's not much more you can say apart from the fact that he is very much Mr. Top Door Slammer. Yeah,
100%. Like I said before about how many laps he makes down this racetrack, he makes more laps in his race cars than any other door slammer racer, and that's what makes him so good. It's just run after run after run after run. And you can't get past experience, you know, like that really helps him and shows in his performance. But in the other lane with Pino, let's hope he doesn't get confused about where he is, because he's quite a regular at the Speedway just over the back here.
Well, no turns necessary until you get to the end of the strip here for Pino Priolo, the budget forklifts top door slammer, qualified number 8. In beside him, though, the number 1 qualifier. Missed the first session and second session, as we mentioned, but then came out and went 5.70. So certainly stamped his authority on the 42nd Goldenstates here at his home track. We come away, Priolo with a slightly better reaction, but it's all over right there. Oh, bang the blower at around about half track.
Yeah, John unfortunately doesn't appear that he's fixed those engine problems he's been having. As far as I know, he's got a cylinder that keeps running lean on him, and he's been chasing it all weekend. It's unusual for John. Unless he's got something new in the car, he usually has his combination pretty much sorted, but knowing John, he's always trying new parts, always trying to be that step ahead of the field, so he'll just be sorting through a few problems.
Let's go on board now. See the clutch dust and then the blower. Just as he goes for the chutes there, you see the back of the blower bang up. Well, we're going to see John Zappia take on Mark Valeri, and Scott McLean will be taking on the Queenslander in Grant O'Rourke when we come back with more Top Door Slammer action.
Mark Valeri, currently second in the championship with your friend John Zappia right next door, is currently having a few struggles with his car. Does that change anything for you?
No, we know John and his team. They're awesome over there. They'll run that car broken if they have to get out there, so you never hold nothing against John. We've changed everything but the driver at the moment from last night. The AC Delco team has been working their butts off to get this car ready, so we're happy where we are at the moment.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we're going two-wheeled racing with our Top Fuel motorcycles.
You want more time to do this, so you can get this. You provide the skill and sweat. Count on Summit Racing for the rest. We carry more parts than anyone else. You can reach us anytime, 24/7. And we ship around the world fast. Summit Racing Equipment, the world's speed shop. SummitRacing.com.
Welcome back to all the action here at the 42nd Goldenstates out of the Perth Motorplex at Kwinana Beach. Well, it's been a big 2 days of Top Fuel motorcycle action. We had a round yesterday, and of course we've got today's round. But let's first have a look at the points coming into this weekend. As we see on our High Tech Oils leaderboard, Damien Muscat leads on 111 points, followed closely by Mark Drew, then Chris Porter, Durack, Stevens and Ashelford round out our top 6 Nitro bike riders. Now, last night, of course, we saw in the B final Wayne McGuinness take on Les Holden. McGuinness beaten by Holden for that final, and Damien Muscat took on Greg Durack, and Muscat took the win and, of course, took the points as well. Let's have a look at the qualifying for tonight. Mark Drew was the number 1 qualifier with a 6:52. Muscat was 6:95 in number 2 spot, and Becky Lamb caught up with Damien Muscat earlier today.
Damien, talk us through what happened yesterday. Apparently, in qualifying, your bike was veering a little to the left through the session.
Yeah, look, these things are a bit of an animal to ride, and when we get out of the hole, sort of go with it a bit, and a bit of rider error, probably upsetting the bike as we go along, and then I got to madly correct to straighten it back up again.
The track conditions are going to change as well as the night progresses. How do you think you'll handle that?
Yeah, look, the track was pretty good yesterday. The weather's been really kind to us. Hasn't been as hot as what it normally is in Perth here. Yeah, we'll throw a bit more at it and see if we can get down the track and do some good times.
As we head into round 1 of Top Fuel Motorcycle, there seems to be a bit of an issue with Damien Muscat's bike, although Les Holden will roll his Nitro Harley in beside. Not good news if there is a problem for Muscat, because he currently leads the championship.
Yeah, Muscat looking pretty confused there, looking at his crew. It's not looking real promising for him.
Well, bike is a DC Harley, formerly owned by Damien Cowden out of Canada. And he's had some real success with this bike. Has gone as quick as 6:35 on it. But unfortunately, it's all over for the Queenslander, the Nitro Phoenix, Nitro Harley Davidson out of Mackay. Well, Les Holden is about to go a solo. That means he'll move through to the semi-finals. Qualified number 7 with a 7:79. And this will give him a good chance to really test out this bike of his, Aaron.
Yeah, Les definitely with a freebie here. He didn't qualify anywhere near as quick as Muscat, so he'll be thanking the gods for the solo on this pass, that's for sure.
Now, these Top Fuel motorcycles, they are a real handful. Of course, most of the V-twin assemblies in the Harleys, 2 cylinders. When they drop one, it goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, unfortunately for these guys, when they drop a cylinder like Nitro cars and bikes do, they lose half their horsepower instantly. In a Top Fuel car, if you drop a cylinder, you still got 7 to get you to the other end of the racetrack. If these things drop a hole, they're dead in the water, basically.
Well, we just saw Les Holden run through 786 there on his Harley. Now, Wayne McGuinness, and it's going to be young Benny Stevens that are going to face off against each other.
Yeah, Jace, did you tell me that Benny Stevens was the fastest amputee in the world earlier today?
Mate, he is indeed. Yes, he used to be a stunt rider, and he crashed, and it resulted in some fairly extensive injuries. Broke both ankles, his legs, both wrists, and his sternum. And unfortunately, his right leg was that badly injured that they had to amputate below the knee. But hey, he doesn't let that stop him. He is the world's quickest amputee, and he's going to streak home for the win there. 697, 311 kilometres per hour. Geez, he really came home in the deep end.
Yeah, you can't even hardly notice. He's throwing that bike around just like everybody else. He's doing a great job on that bike. It's running real fast, 6-second pass. He can't be happier than that.
Well, Wayne McGuinness did fairly well on the HRP Nitro bike, went 7:44 at 279, but check that thing out of Ben Stevens' front wheel is hoiked up in the sky.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for these Harley guys to ride the bike through the finish line with the front wheel in the air, basically using the front wheel as a rudder, not to steer the bikes, but they basically steer it on the back tyre, leaning their weight to drive the bike the direction they want.
Next pair coming our way, Tony Wood. He's going to be taking on Greg Durack. Durack, based out of Perth, on this Team Raptor. Now, it's a Kawasaki ZX12R Turbo funny bike, as opposed to the Nitro Harleys. And a bit of an interesting story. It's a 1500cc Kawasaki ZX12R top end with a Kawasaki jet ski bottom end and about 40-pounder boost with mechanical injection and alcohol.
Yeah, really different combination. Top bike is probably the one class in drag racing that has more freedom than any other. In Australia, you're allowed to run nitrous bikes, turbo bikes, supercharged bikes, nitro methane. You can almost do whatever you want and be the fastest guy to the other end. It's going to win. The blown nitro bikes pretty much have proven to be the fastest, but I got a feeling there's a lot more left in these turbo combinations that will really make them catch up.
Well, Tony Wood's been a name synonymous with two-wheeled racing for many, many years. V-twin versus four-cylinder. When it comes down to the engine size, the body language, the attitude that Tony Wood has to use to try and keep that bike off the centre line is what effectively slows him down. But Greg Durack will take the win there, runs it on through for a 7:09 at 327 kilometres per hour. Aaron, these four cylinders, they really, once they come up on boost, as you said, I mean, the ET-wise, they should be a lot, quicker than the Harley bikes.
You watch that bike, didn't really leave the line all that hard, but boy, does it come home strong.
One man to run, our top qualifier. It's Mark Drew on the Wildcard Racing Nitro Harley-Davidson. And Mark about to run a solo. I'm sure he'll be absolutely, look, I suppose the word stoked is probably not the best thing. He went 6:52, which is the quickest in the field by a long shot this weekend. And he's been rewarded with an uneven field where he will go through to the final. Good opportunity to run this thing out the back door and check to make sure it's repeating those mid-sixes. Well, it certainly is. 672, 374 kilometres per hour. As we check our Garmin Verb replay, we see that Mark Drew's got plenty of attitude. The front wheel was hoiked up as well. And that was a nice clean pass for the Wildcard Racing Nitro Harley team. Next time we see the two-wheeled fighters come back, it will be the B final between Greg Durack and Les Holden, and the A final between Mark Drew and Ben Stevens.
Ben Stevens, yesterday wasn't the best day that you've had here today, but today you're making up for it. In terms of strategy for this next one, what are you doing different?
That's a bit of a secret. Nah, we're not really doing much different. We just want to go out there, and to be honest, we just want to go from A to B. We want it to go straight, we want to go fast, and if we come second, that's all right. As long as we can get some data, that's the main thing.
When we return after the break, we're coming back with more top door slammer action with the semi-finals.
To some, it's just a hunk of metal. A convenience made to get you from point A to point B. Basic transportation, that's all. So who cares about horsepower, torque, compression ratios, and chrome Kragers? Yeah, we do too. Summit Racing Equipment, the world's speed shop. SummitRacing.com.
Welcome back. We hope you're enjoying all the action from the 42nd Goldenstates here at Perth Motorplex. We have got top door slammer semi-finals coming up in just a moment. We've got our drivers suited up, they're strapped in, they're ready to go. What's going through your head right about now, Aaron, as a driver?
Everything switches off. Any nerves you had, any worries you had, they all turn off now. As soon as you hear that engine run, your mind's on the job, you're ready to go straight into the burnout.
This is going to be an absolute cracker. We have got number 1 qualified taking on number 4. John Zapier will take on Mark Valeri here in this semi.
Yeah, also these two guys, number 1 and 2 in the championship. Zap's going to be pretty pumped. He's coming off a win. We made a big statement by taking out his data logger for the semi-final over in Melbourne, which he then went out and set low ET of racing. It shut a lot of people up and stopped a lot of conjecture. So, good on him for doing that, but just proving he's the best in the field once again.
I mean, Zappy is certainly leading the championship commandingly. But he just won his second race of the season at the Australian Nationals, as you mentioned. Mark Valeri, on the other hand, he was runner-up at the first race of the season. And as you said, he is currently sitting second in the championship. So there's a lot at stake. I mean, Mark Valeri will want to try and put a bit of a gap between he and the next guy down in the championship, which just happens to be Grant O'Rourke.
Yeah, definitely. It only takes 1 or 2 mistakes from the guy in front for Mark to catch up. So if Zap falls over here, Mark's going to get in front, get himself into a final, and he'll catch up on those points real fast.
Well, Mark Valeri now running the Morris Fabietti AC Delco Holden Monaro. Of course, that ran the family's lucky toy for many years. Zapier runs it out the back door, 574, 404 kilometres per hour. Great shots on board our Garmin Verb replay.
Yes, John straight back to his qualifying performances there. It looks like he's got his engine trouble sorted out, but great run by both cars. Mark as consistent as ever. They're qualifying, their first round, their second round, all within half a 10.
Such a great looking race car, Scott McLean's McLean Motorsport Holden Monaro out of Jerry Haas Fabrications over in the US of A. Now, brand new car.
Yeah, there's a bit of a story behind the body on that car. When it was shipped over to America from Australia, it was actually meant to look just like Maurice Fabietti's car. Unfortunately, the body got a lot of damage in transit, so when it got there, they had to modify it and change it, and they come up with what they've got now. Now, talking to Scott about 6 months ago, he actually dislikes the look of that car. Everybody keeps telling him how much it looks like a pro stock car, which it does, and that wasn't what he was aiming to build.
Well, we may even see a body change potentially down the line. In beside him, Grant O'Rourke for O'Rourke Motorsport, the Pontiac Firebird. This guy, he has been around for well over 20 years, raced in Pro Street with a Tirana that was wild as hell. Top alcohol funny cars, he's had other door slammers, and now he's got his current car. He was the first guy, in fact, to run a 5-second pass, Grant O'Rourke, at Calder Park. So he's certainly established himself very well. But Scotty McLean is the man that everybody is watching this weekend.
Yeah, and just in the window there, you saw Grant's wife, Deb. She's no slouch in the driver's seat either. She's driven plenty of cars. Their top alcohol funny car for years. She drove Grant's Tiranas for a long time, and yeah, she's run killer.
Both cars just edging in ever so meticulously. Revs start to build. O'Rourke and McLean. Check out the reaction from McLean. It is a perfect reaction. 0-0-0. And check out the time, 578, 404 kilometres per hour.
Yeah, killer run there from Scott. Some people say perfect reaction time, but some people say a little bit too close. He's going to have to watch that going into the final, or he could get himself in trouble.
Well, just having a look at the onboard there, what's your take on that situation?
Grant had something really interesting going on there in the clutch can. He had spark coming into that thing as he was staging the car, and if that didn't grab his attention, nothing was going to. But obviously there was an issue. He left the start line, didn't get real far, and that thing had the blower hanging off it.
Well, man, oh man, coming into the final, we are going to see a pair of 570 race cars with John Zapier taking on Scotty McLean in the final of Top Door Slammer here at the 42nd Golden States.
John Zapier, you're in the finals for today, but it has not been a very easy ride to get here. It's been up and down since last week, since you won the championship. Take us through it.
Yes, well, we after the damage we did first round today, we thrashed and we got out there within a minute to spare. We ran a 574 at, I think, about 253. So it was down a little bit. We put extra fuel in it, and we just backed it off a little bit just to make the engine live to get to the end, and it did that fine. I've got to get my act together on the start line, and we've got to make sure the tune-up's right on the money. We can't be too rich and late and lazy, but at the same time we don't want to blow it up. So it's going to be interesting, and I'm sure they'll throw the kitchen sink at it as well. So.
We are moving into the B final for Top Fuel Motorcycle, and we're going to see Greg Durack take on Les Holden.
Les might have had a bit of trouble starting that bike. Left the burnout till quite late, and yeah, a bit of a rush to get this bike into stage.
Well, Greg Durack, as we mentioned, this is the Kawasaki motorcycle turbocharged. It's known as a funny bike as opposed to the Nitro Harleys. But in beside him, he is certainly one of those. Les Holden with a Nitro Harley. And we have got, I think, a good battle on our hands.
In Europe, the funny bikes is a class all to itself, and they run quite fast. They don't match up against the Nitro bikes as much, but yeah, they run on their own, and there's plenty of them.
Team Raptor for Greg Durack. He gets out. Let's check the lights. A .142 reaction, and just rides the funny bike as if he's on his way down for a Sunday cruise. Goes through 760 at 297 kilometres an hour. 297 kilometres really isn't too much of a Sunday cruise.
No, definitely not. Has a few issues about mid-track, had to roll off the throttle and squeeze it back on again, but still getting down there and getting the win.
Will we ever see Aaron Hambridge on a motorcycle?
Not in this lifetime.
You can see he's really working hard there.
Yeah, bike shaking the tyre there, just like the door cars do. If it's a bit slow or a bit too fast wheel speed-wise, they shake the tyre and make those things almost impossible to ride.
Here comes the A final in Top Fuel Motorcycle now. Here at the 42nd Goldenstates, we've got young Benny Stevens to take on one of the most experienced nitro riders in the country in Mark Drew.
Well, in theory, this is how every final should end up. The number 1 and 2 qualifier picking their way through the field and then up together in the final. Very rarely works out that way, but today it's how it's happened.
Well, Mark Drew, he was the 2014-2015 Australian champion. He smoked the tyre, and it looks like Ben Stevens is going to ride it on through 710-326 Ks and will take the win. I can tell you, he is going to be one very, very happy young rider.
Yeah, Mark Drew will be disappointed there. His bike looked like it left the line really hard, but it was on the wheelie bar that hard that it actually unloaded the back tyre and caused him to smoke the tyre and lose the race.
Well, interestingly enough, Benny Stevens, he has his first ANDRA round win and has run his first 200-mile-an-hour pass.
Yeah, I guess we've come a bit of a way since yesterday with our clutch dramas and everything like that. We would have liked to have run a few quicker ETs today, but I can't say the bike wasn't our side because we won, but yeah, we would have liked it to go a little bit quicker. I'm pretty sure in that last one I cracked 200 mile an hour, so I'm absolutely stoked with that. That's an achievement. Yeah, it was a great day. We're very excited about it.
Let's take a look at our Top Fuel Motorcycle Championship points. Damien Muscat leads on 216, followed by Mark Drew. Greg Durack back in third, and Benny Stevens makes his way into the High-Tech Oils leaderboard for the first time. Let's get underway now. Top Door Slammer coming our way with the final between John Zapier and Scott McLean. West Oz takes on the Northern Territory as far as Battle of the States.
Yeah, this is going to be a killer race. Both these cars coming in with a 570 ET. Scott coming in with an unbelievable reaction time, so this is going to come down to the wire.
Well, John Zapier, he is crowd favourite in the West for Fuchs Lubricants. Number 1 qualifier, and as we said, he has a massive commanding lead over the rest of the field. And for Scotty McLean, it's not about, it's not about getting the points because we're at the pointy end of the season or heading that way. It's more about making the debut of this car and getting it up to speed, and he certainly has done that this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Scott will be just excited to be in the final to start with, but I think he's here. He wants to win his first round of racing, and yeah, let's see if he can do it.
Well, Scott's taken a little bit of time out of his racing schedule. In previous years was the former president of Hidden Valley Drag Strip, and one of the reasons that Nitro Up North is such a huge success, a really good guy to work with. And it's fantastic to see him back in the seat of the car, although I thought we might have seen him in a Top Fuel dragster. He tried one on for size up at Nitro Up North.
Yeah, we threw Scott in our car actually to do a warm-up, and yeah, he took to it pretty good, so who knows what the future will hold.
Here comes the final at the 42nd Golden States for Top Door Slammer. Zapier, McLean. McLean with the much better reaction, but it's going to be Zap who will get to the stripe first. 571 beats a 591. Both cars running right on that 400 kilometre an hour mark.
Yeah, Scott knew Zap would step his car up and try and run a low 70, so he's left the start line there. Car got a bit out of shape, looks like he had to pedal it. Still running a 590, which is competitive against just about anybody else, but unfortunately today, running against Zap, you needed a picture-perfect run.
Well, John Zapier, once again, great consistency, but McLean, he got out of the hole really fast. We're going down to the winner's podium to catch up with John Zapier.
Yeah, the Fuchs Monaro finally come through at the end. Bit of a nervous weekend with some of the blow explosions that we had, and the crew done an awesome job. They just worked their butts off. Well, ever since from Calder to here, we've just been flat out all week. Congratulations to Scotty McLean for running a 70 and putting it up to us, and unlike others that want to whinge about that we're going too fast, these guys just went and did their homework and come out with the goods, and already they're running 70s, and So it's fantastic. It just shows it can be done. It's not just us. And hopefully we'll have a few more cars running at that pace.
Let's take a look at our High-Tech Oils top door slammer championship points. John Zapier leads the way, 468 over Mark Valeri on 298, then Grant O'Rourke on 227. Ben Bray is in fourth, and Sam Fennick rounds out the top 5. When we come back after this break, we are heading to the finals of our Summit Racing Equipment Sportsman Series here from the 42nd Golden States.
You want more time to do this, so you can get this. You provide the skill and sweat. Count on Summit Racing for the rest. We carry more parts than anyone else. You can reach us anytime, 24/7. And we ship around the world fast. Summit Racing Equipment, the world's speed shop. SummitRacing.com.
With our Group 1 professional categories run and won, we are now moving into our Summit Racing Equipment Sportsman Series. It's the finals of Junior Dragster coming our way. And we've got this pair about to line up side by side, McClure versus Perry.
Yeah, Jace, great shot of the crowd if you just saw there. It's good to see everybody hanging around to watch the junior guys in the sport come up and have their go at the final.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these kids are from 8 through to 17 years of age. They can race in internal categories. Of course, they are, this one particularly, B Junior Dragster. It's restricted in engine size for Samuel Perry. But look, it's all about dial your own racing. All about cutting the best light and running closest to your dial-in. So, little odd there.
Perry possibly, he's gone in too deep there. I don't think he's actually had the stage lights on, and if he has, he's moved forward way too early, well before the yellows are even flashed.
Of course, running over at 8th mile, McClure will take the win, goes 8.09 at 129 kilometres per hour. We'll keep your eye on the left of the screen there. I'm not sure really what goes on, Aaron.
Yeah, I thought he might have left early or deep stage or something there, but I'm not sure if he's timed out or exactly what the problem's been. It's kind of a strange thing, but hey, McClure's got the win. He'll be stoked.
Well, we see McClure run on through one more time to take the win here at the 42nd Golden States.
I'm just so ecstatic to be here and win this trophy. I've been chasing one. This is my last season, so it was pretty much my last chance to get one. I went through so many good races. It wasn't easy, but we're here.
Well done to Bailey McClure, winner of Junior Dragster here at the Golden States. Now, in terms of the championship, Joel Burns still leads on the 300-point cap ahead of Luke Versma, who jumps ahead slightly of Jasmine Slammer. Kelly Donnelly remains in 4th on 210, followed by Daniel Carranza in 5th on 180. Moving into modified bike finals now, we've got Brian Finn taking on Ross Townsend. So Ross, he's moving into the right-hand lane. And of course the devil's deal for Ross and for Brian Finn. He's moving into that left-hand lane, all right of our screen in fact, but the left-hand lane of the racetrack. We are away. 1 green and 1 red light left on the tree by Townsend. So it'll be Brian Finn. He'll ride it on through and he'll take the win. 11.01 on an 11.00. Really got that Honda dialed in nicely. Gives the thumbs up to Townsend beside him.
Very sportsmanlike, that's great to see. Quite two different bikes here. This bike, oh no.
Yeah, we've just had Brian Finn go down in the braking area. Well, fortunately, he's back up onto his feet, Aaron, but just a little bit too much front brake there by the look of it.
Yeah, just lost a bit of concentration there by the looks of it. Unfortunate incident, but he's up, he's on his feet, he looks like he's okay. Hopefully his bike is as well.
Well, I think the good news for Brian is that he was in fact right down on the low side of the speed sector. He certainly wasn't carrying a lot of speed there, which is a good thing. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, front brake just applied a little too much, locked the front tyre, and that's all she wrote. Washed away, and he's on his back.
Well, the win was great. I've had a fantastic time in Perth as always. It's the best facility in Australia in my opinion. And I finished it off with a spectacular crash. I thought it was great.
Well, you can't keep a good man down, and Brian Finn has every reason to smile despite his post-race crash. He's joint leader in modified bike with Gordon Crawford on the 300-point maximum, followed closely by Matt Lyle in third on 290, Gavin Don't on 220, and Leith Darrick on 170 points. That's all thanks to High Tech Oils. Super Street Eliminator coming our way with the final. It is going to be this Pontiac GTO, and he'll be taking on the Holden Tirana. So Rowe versus De Bruyn. De Bruyn is in the Beat the Heat Pontiac. We've seen some really, really good beat the heat style races over the years. I know in Queensland it used to be a cop this and cop that.
Yeah, I've seen this initiative done many times at almost every drag strip Australia. It's great to see, get everybody off the streets, get them to the racetrack, and get them started in one of the greatest sports in the country.
10.68 the dial in for Rowe, 11.09 for De Bruyn. These guys are taking it right to the stripe. We're going to have to go to the computer to find out who got that one. 11.10 on an 11.09 for the win. It looks like it'll be Chris De Bruyn in the Pontiac will take the win.
I don't know about you, but if I was racing a cop, I'd probably let him win.
Yeah, look, if he's a legitimate cop, then you're right. Otherwise, you've got some tickets coming your way.
The preparation was, some days they work, some days they don't. So everything sort of worked my way today. I mean, it's a team effort. It's just not me. The car just ran to its numbers. The car was sensational. I just managed to cut some very good lights, and the result went my way. So very, very happy.
Now, as we take a look at the points for High Tech Oils, Chris Tatchell still leads the way on 200 points, 20 clear of Alan Hutchin and Anton Krajina, both on 180. Jacob Mills remains in fourth on 170, followed by Lazzaro, Garbellini, Cooper and Bryan rounding out the top 8. Here we go, Super Sedan final about to come our way at the 42nd Golden States. It's Kyle Higgins taking on Nick Panagopoulos. So Panagopoulos in the Monte Carlo, that car on screen right now. You can see you can't even fit his name in the window. And beside him, Kyle Higgins in that Ford XW Falcon. They are about to go head to head.
And Monte Carlo, quite a different car. You won't see too many of those in Australia. Very popular in America, but I don't think I've ever seen another one here in Australia before.
Higgins with the whole shot of a 004 light on the tree. Holds it all the way and will take the win. 9.49 for the win on a 9.47 dial-in. And geez, I tell you what, Panagopoulos was just off there. Went 9.15 on a 9.13. Great drag race there.
Yeah, Higgins with a very pro-stock quality reaction time there. 004, that's going to win you almost every race, every time.
Well, let's go down to the winner's podium and catch up with Kyle Higgins.
It wasn't too bad. Had a pretty good day. Obviously, had a bit of, the car wasn't too consistent earlier. Had a bit of an oil spill last night, but managed to get over the top of it. And yeah, I didn't expect to get this far, and pretty happy that I am.
In terms of championship points, Peter Zokas and John Kipiris sit atop of the standings equal on 230 points. George Tipakides and Danny Bicella remain in equal third on 180, with Steve Hunt and Ned Karanovic 50 points behind on 130. Michael Jennings and Chris Paris round out the 8. Moving now into Top Sportsman, and we're going to see Brett Illich take on Amanda Martin. Now, Aaron, of course, these are a bit like Super Sedan, but quicker.
Yeah, this category was created for sedans that were a lot quicker than some of the other guys in Super Sedan. They did this primarily for safety reasons. It was never going to be good having a 9-second car racing a low 7-second car, and you've got a car coming straight past you that's almost 50 mile an hour quicker.
Well, 7.76 the dial in for Martin, 8.41 for Illich, and she has dominated all the way to the stripe. Amanda Martin takes the win, 7.80 on a 7.76 in the Pontiac.
Yeah, something really cool on Martin's car there. The hood scoop's actually clear. I've seen clear rocket covers before, but never a clear hood scoop. Gives you a really good shot of the carburetors and a bit of an insight to what's going on in the car.
And a pretty cool wrap to boot.
We had a few car problems earlier. We had converter problems, we had fuel problems. But we got that sorted this morning and we've done a good run.
So Amanda Martin takes out top honours here at the Golden States for Top Sportsman, but it's still Jason Stairs and Matt Forbes who dominate the leaderboard. Darren Saliba remains in third on 290 points. Paul Russo is in 4th on 240 and Michael Braggs is 5th on 220, all thanks to High Tech Oils. Competition bike now coming our way. Of course, moving from a dial-your-own style system into an indexing system. We've got Ryan Learmonth about to take on Chris Chipchase.
Yeah, we'll see how much these guys have got in reserve, see how far under or close they can run to their index. It's going to be whoever's got the most left who's going to win the race.
Kawasaki ZX 700, so 700 cc's on board for Learmonth. The Suzuki GSXR for Chipchase, although he doesn't tell us what cc's, probably around 1100. He's got the extended wheelbase there, but no wheelie bars, I beg your pardon. And let's have a look there. Chipchase really streaks to the stripe. In the finish line goes 916, doesn't really go anywhere near that 815 index.
Yeah, Learmonth with some problems there. He's had to get off the throttle, get back on again. Unfortunately, it's lost him the race.
Well, no problems for Chris Chipchase. He will ride that bike on all the way through for a very deserved win.
It's absolutely fantastic. The adrenaline's still pumping from the last lap that I just did, and yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
Congratulations to Chris Chipchase, who takes out the ANDRA Christmas tree in competition bike. He also leads the point standing after tonight's event, 20 points clear of Ryan Learmonth, with Mick Day in 3rd, Patton in 4th, Harper in 5th, Hinckley in 6th, and Wasley in 7th. What a final eliminator. Final coming our way right now. It is going to be Ryan versus Healy. So Ryan dialing in with an 800 in the 1965 Woody Gilmore. And for Healy, dials in 749 in the chassis dynamic dragster.
In fact, it really is a Woody Gilmore car. There's history there. That car's almost 50 years old. Woody Gilmore, a famous chassis builder in the US, all through the 60s and into the 70s, building some of the first top fuel cars the sport's ever seen.
Well, Ryan got the whole shot there, an 012 reaction to an 052, but it really came down to running too quick. He went 793 on an 800, got to the finish line first, but it'll be Aaron Healy in the winner's circle.
Thank you very much. It's been a good 2 days, and yeah, what a fantastic result.
As we take a look at the championship points for High Tech Oils, we see Craig Baker still holds a comfortable lead on 250 points, 70 clear of Jess Turner. Leanne Braggs is a close 3rd on 170, with Corey Dyson 4th, Shepherd 5th, Stewart 6th, Will 7th, and Wind in 8th. Supercharged Outlaws about to come our way. We go back to the whole dial-your-own style of racing. And, of course, Supercharged Outlaws. We've got Wendt up against James. Now, we've got Wendt in the Dodge Viper and James in the Lamborghini, Aaron. It's a real supercar affair.
Yeah, definitely. These two aren't bodies that you're going to see very often in drag racing at all, but yeah, definitely at home here and both in the final.
So we know that James has dialed in the Lambo with a 716 and Wendt has dialed in the Dodge Viper with a 715. Just 1/100th of a second away from each other in the dial-in, so pretty much going to be a heads-up race. Reaction favours James. Oh, I think he's touched the centre line, and that will be that. All she wrote. It will be Chris Wendt who takes the win there. 727 on a 715. Let's have a look at our Garmin Verb replay. The Lambo drifts to the right, takes out both the middle timers, and that is instant disqualification.
I'd like to thank all my sponsors, Australian Ceramics Engineering, Total Plasma Laser Cutters, and also, my awesome crew, and most importantly, my wife for all the putting up with all the hard nights and late nights in the shed.
Chris Wendt takes home the ANDRA Christmas tree after his popular win tonight in Supercharged Outlaws. Justin Russell still leads the championship with 3 rounds remaining on the 300-point maximum, 10 points clear of defending champion Adam Murray. Doina Day remains in 3rd with Mark Hunt in 4th. Coming our way right now, we have got Craig Geddes. He's going to be taking on Al McClure. Now, McClure is in that bantam alder, the lime green alder to the left of screen. That one right there. And Craig Geddes, well, he is 2 times Aussie champion, and Aaron, man, he has done some travelling this year.
Yeah, he's actually the only familiar name I've seen here this weekend from the eastern side of the country who's actually made it through into the finals. But Al McClure is no stranger to finals. He's been in that many finals in competition in WA and won that many with that big block power combination. This is going to be a fight to the end.
Well, we come back to the indexing side of racing, and it is going to be the win. Craig Geddes will take his third win of 5 this season, and he goes on through to go 7.24 on his 7.76 index, and that is all she wrote. Craig Geddes takes the win.
Yeah, thank you very much. No, we've done really well. This has been our voodoo track in the past, and fantastic to come here, top qualifier, reset the records and win the event, so we've done really well.
Craig Geddes has every reason to smile after tonight's event. He not only breaks his Perth Motorplex hoodoo, he sits atop of the competition eliminator points in a commanding position with 3 rounds remaining. David de Quinn remains in second on 115, with former champion Alistair McClure skyrocketing up into third. Our last final here for the 42nd Goldenstates is Super Stock. We've got Anthony Puglia about to take on Errol Quatermain. So the Ford Probe takes on the Ford Falcon. And this is going to be a cracker of a run. Once again, it all comes down to indexes.
Both cars had an easy run into the final. Neither of them running in respective times. They both had it easy, so they shut them off early. So this could be anybody's race. There's no indication of who's running any faster or slower compared to their index. So who knows what each car's got up their sleeve.
Anthony Puglia, 7.43, the index for the Ford Probe, the orange one to the right of screen. This car here, the Ford Falcon of Errol Quatermain, 7.96. Have a look at the reaction from Quatermain. If you're going to throw have a good real crack at the tree, it's in the final and it's worked. 001 light, he goes through for the win. Errol Quatermain runs 7.69 on a 7.96 national index.
Yeah, he's gone almost 3/10 under his index there, and Puglia's just run just above his. So, yeah, he's going to need to sharpen that car up for the next race if he's going to win a final.
Thank you very much. It's been a fun day, and the car were in really good. A bit of a scare in the semi-finals, but other than that, it's been a really great day.
Jamie Chasty still leads the Super Stock standings after his Nationals win a week ago, but Tom Dimitropoulos is the big mover, jumping up into second on 245. Kim Fardella, Graham Sims and Darren Parker all round out the top 5, all thanks to High Tech Oils. The next time we go racing will be right here at the Motorplex for the 46th Western Nationals. It's the drag race that everyone wants to win out west, and it's all happening on the first weekend in March. For more information, check out the Perth Motorplex website. 1 week later, on March 12, we head to Steel City Raceway in Whyalla, South Australia for the penultimate round of the Summit Racing Equipment Sportsman Series. Check out ANDRA.com.au for more information on the event. My thanks once again to Aaron Hambridge for his expert comments, and thank you for joining us here at the Perth Motorplex. We'll see you in a few weeks' time for all the action from the 46th Western Nationals.